What's up, my busy bees? Welcome back, or welcome to you newbies. I'm very excited to have you here. Now, for today's video, we're going to talk about moths and butterflies and why we should care about them. I bet if I asked all of you to close your eyes and to think about a butterfly, you probably either envision a common swallowtail, either blue or yellow, or most likely you saw a monarch butterfly, didn't you? Ha! I knew it. Swallowtails and monarchs are just two of some 760 species of butterflies in North America. Interesting fact about butterflies, they're moths. Butterflies are simply a special group of diurnal moths, meaning daytime active, where the other 11,240 species of moths are nocturnal, meaning nighttime active. Moths and butterflies are of the order Lepidoptera, which can be broken down into 126 families and about 40 superfamilies. The life cycle of Lepidoptera is through the process known as complete metamorphosis. I'll explain this more in depth in a later video about the difference between complete and incomplete metamorphosis. Essentially what that means is they start as an egg, then a larva that have massive appetites as a caterpillar eats an average of 150 plus leaves before going into their pupal stage. This is the most familiar most people are because they find them in their gardens. The best thing to do, should you be lucky enough to find one, is to leave it be. In no time, they will be ready to emerge from their chrysalis. By the way, chrysalis are specific to butterflies because moth caterpillars actually spin their own cocoons out of silk. But when a butterfly is emerging, they need to be left alone so they can sit and dry off and pump blood and other fluids into their wings so they can extend, so they can take to flight to do what they do best, pollinate flowers. Do you know what gives moths and butterflies their beautiful patterns? They're a collection of several thousands of little flat hairs called setae. Interestingly, each butterfly has their own unique pattern. Yes, they look very similar to those of their same species, but when you look closer, they aren't all 100% identical. Oh, and by the way, butterfly wings look cool under a microscope. If you ever get the chance to view one ethically, I urge you to do so. Another interesting fact about moths and butterflies is that you can tell which ones are moths and which are butterflies by their antennas. Butterflies have ones with swollen clubbed ends. Moths have antennas that look like feathers from a bird, or some are just plain and thread looking. Lepidoptera have extra long tongues known as a proboscis, which enables them to reach down into long flowers to reach the nectar, and in doing so, they also pass on pollen, the male part of the flower, to the ovary, the female part of the flower. So like bees, butterflies are very beneficial pollinators, and some butterflies can pollinate flowers that bees can't reach down inside of, adding another reason to care about them. So how can you help butterflies and moths? You can do many things to help our Lepidopteran friends, such as reducing agrochemical use. This is a point I will bring up a lot. Consider turning off all lights in your yard after dark if you aren't outside in need of them. This will help nighttime active pollinators. Lights interfere with their pollinating duties. You can make habitats for pollinators by planting plants that are native and more attractive to them as food sources, or that they may lay their eggs on, that their larvae will eat during their development. Plants with holes and munch marks are actually a great indicator of a healthy ecosystem. You can also order caterpillars native to your area and raise them and then release them once they have become adults. You can communicate with your neighbors to see about them reducing chemical use as well, and also make habitats. With buying plants of any kind, native or ornamental, check the label. Look to see if they have been sprayed at any stage of the plant's development. Some companies spray seeds, which grow inside of the plant in intoxicating levels for pollinators, particularly bees. Last but not least, advocate for pollinators. They don't have voices, but we do, and they should be used. Change isn't possible until enough people care. All of you are extensions of me, just as I am an extension of people that inspired me to become a pollinator conservationist. So I need all of y'all's help. So that's all for this time. If there was something that I missed that you feel I should have brought up, or perhaps something I said that intrigued you, I always urge you to reach out to me via our social media platforms or on here, whichever is easier. Questions are always welcome here. Remember to buzz back by for next time, as we'll be discussing part 1 of a 3-part series talking about Hymenoptera, which are wasps, ants, and bees. And be forewarned, Hymenoptera are my favorites. Now, buzz off!